Hello everybody and welcome back to Gaming Goose, and here we are again with another little talk through of demo 401 from the guys at Titanic Honor and Glory. So last time we basically did the prom and the we did the boat deck and the stern and a little bit of the well deck aft. So what we'll do today is we'll go somewhere slightly different again, post office and baggage. So I find these little areas fascinating. Because you hear it all the time. It's a bit of a cliche. They're like floating cities, these ocean liners and these ships. And they have to be because they're completely self-run. But you never see it. So this is the thing I'm looking forward to. Let's see it. And also, let's look at how wide that corridor is. That wouldn't get through modern day health and safety there. So let's pop downstairs. And again, some of the heroes, the unsung heroes, the guys who were working here, were getting flooded, and they were trying to desperately save the post and bring all the post up because it was a Royal Mail ship, RMS Titanic. So this is how they got an extra subsidy, by taking the post from the UK to New York and then New York back to the UK. So it was sorted en route, and in here, in this post office, well, like any other post office on land, sorting through the sacks of posts that were going outbound. And you can see all the labels for the different places where they would be going. And people physically going by hand and putting them where they needed to go. No one from the post office survived that evening. It was, they were last seen trying to throw post up. Because we're located, I can't remember where we are, but we're located quite far down into the ship. So this was one of the first areas to flood, and next door to a cargo area. So here we've got more private cargo that has been stowed. More baggage. Sorry, I should say really. Baggage from the passengers as well. Light and airy. Nothing like Titanic Adventure Out of Time, where it was quite dingy and dark. But remember, this is a brand new ship, so it would be quite well painted. It hasn't had the years and years of scuff marks and banging about and things. But you can see all the different pieces of luggage that has been stowed, tied down with these cargo nets. I wonder if there was a cargo net room, or if they were permanently out all the time, or you had to go and get them each time. But again, something you don't really see. Something similar, one of the ones was seen obviously on the 97 film. When the water crashes through the plates as the iceberg pierces the ship, knocking luggage everywhere. But yeah, nice, orderly baggage rooms. I'll pop out, back in, over the step, back into the post room. So lots and lots of lovely letters. I've even written some addresses on them. London, Ontario, Canada, maybe? Oh, where's that from? AJ Wiss & Sons, Shears and Scissors. And Snips from New Jersey. The Philippines Constabulary. Penalty for private use, $300. Official mail. Oh, Inspectorate Manila. So, I don't know if these have got any historical accuracy or not, but I appreciate what they've done. Oh, hang on, that's the same one. In Manila. From the Philippines Constabulary. Returned to Holt County Bank, O'Neill, Nebraska. Yeah. Thousands and thousands of bits of post. The Crosby Hotel. Royal Securities Corporation to Halifax, Nova Scotia. Is that going from Newfoundland to Halifax? Anyway, really cool. And again, it just goes to the amount of detail that the guys put into this. I'm not affiliated or sponsored or anything by them, but I just appreciate good workmanship. And look at that. There is a TSS Titanic there. As was used a lot in the time, there wasn't enough pictures of Titanic, and the Titanic was obviously the second of 3 ships. So they might have used pictures of Olympic, her older sister, and a lot of the postcards and things. Or sometimes, if you look at old footage as well, documentaries used to use other four funnel liners like Lusitania, Mauritania, which used to get my goat a little bit. you know, saying this is the Titanic and it's actually the Lusitania. But hey ho, there's worse things to worry about. So if we go this way, was that an elevator? I didn't. Or was that just a lockable storage? I don't think that's another elevator actually. There's a roof, so no. Security. Oh, look at all this post. Interesting. My dad was a postmaster for a few years. So he'll be taking in letters and things. Didn't do anything like this, but interesting nonetheless. Oh, there's that room again. Is that a lift? It is a lift! So it's a lift shaft. I never knew that. Had its own little lift. Is that just between the two decks? Does it go down to the third? I can't really see if that's floor or just no light. And then you can see that. That's incredible. So there we go. Oh, look at that. All these bags. They didn't have to be ambled down the stairs. They had their own little lift. And there's the motor for it. Electric motor, probably running off steam pressure somewhere along the line. Or if the generators anyway, which was then created by steam. Further down. I'm just walking down here. More and more sacks after sacks of post or mail. If anyone's watching from across the sea, hello to all my North American followers out there. Thanks for joining us. Look at that. Again, a room you wouldn't really think about, but very important nonetheless. Ooh, that one's got its own little spotlight. Ooh, so something. Why has that got a light on it? That must have been put here for a reason. You can see the hooks that the bags of post were just tied to. And again, these would have been non-stop. Obviously, it wasn't just Southampton and New York. There was also Cherbourg and Queenstown on the way. So post would have come in from those, from France and Ireland, and as well being dropped off. Oh, you can see, there we go, the lift. So they must have. Did they have to drag it down here then? And they just had a lift for one. I mean, I'm going to look into that further. That is fantastic. I never knew that. So that is. Where's that? That is up the stairs. I probably won't be able to get around the corner. No, I imagine I came through that sliding door. Oh no, I can. So the lift would be right. Okay, so the lift would be in there. So no, it looks like it's just for those two floors. Right, can't go in there. But as you can see, a very plain, yet clean, almost sterile, isn't it? Just painted white. Not sure if it's a gloss or if it's just the render, but it's got a shine to it of the steel and wood. Tongue and groove sort of thing. Clean, efficient. Yeah, really, really nice there. And where does this pop out? So where do we pop out in the first class accommodation? Because I'm not sure. I can't exactly remember where I want to say it's E deck, but I can't remember if that's right or not. So we're just on a load screen now, and here we are. So the post office is there. Is there a... No, sign's not on there yet, but remember that because the crack in the door. We've got some tiles, so... Is this passenger... The squash court! Woo! Another game. Again, those of you that's a little... you've played the Adventure Out of Time from Titanic. You fence a German... spy in the end, in there, who shortly dies. But yeah, so you can go in the squash court. So this is E and F deck, I think, because it's obviously across two decks. And yeah, you could book this and to play squash. I can't remember. I think it was Archibald Gracie who was one of the first people to survive the thing and then release a book, which came out in 2013. I think he had it booked or as a gym session, and he went up to the gym man. I can't remember his name. And just said, "Well, I think we'll cancel our game for tomorrow," as the ship was sinking. I want to say William something. Can't remember who ran the gym. But looks like we're back with cabins. So I'm a bit lost. I'm not gonna lie. But more and more cabins here. Because further down the ship there were some cabins which were first or second class. So they could be moved, depending on if we had more people from first class. Ah! Right, so this is D deck. So this is E deck. And this, F deck. Right. So, I think that's fair to say the post office was on F deck. Cool, just for my own sanity. But yes, the cabins. Some of them were made in such a way, or built, where they could shut off gates, or some of these gates, and they could be second class, or you open up these gates, and they could be first class. So there were multi-use rooms. So you'd be pretty, I don't know, would you be pretty lucky if you booked first class and got a second class one? Or would you be probably more lucky if you booked second class and then you had the one which could also be first? Don't know, I'm probably thinking too much into it. So, here we are, more staterooms. I don't think you can get any of them because I think we're looking for doors that are open. But again, look how narrow the corridors are. But basic white wood panelling. You still see the main beams of the deck above. And ventilation or high pressure steam. I don't know what that pipe is. But uniform. Oh, and a curtain. So that is the demo teams. Ooh, head aft. So, okay. So, E-deck. So, we've got the lifts that we just went past there. So, if we've got the lifts there, that means we've got a staircase here. And this is the very bottom of the grand staircase. We go up to the D-deck reception. And here it is. So, this is where you could come on if you were first class through these doors on boarding day. You would come through these doors here. And then these would be open. You would walk through into this D-deck reception. Ooh, what does that say? Right, no smoking. And you see the three... Whenever you see the doors like that behind these staircases, that's the lifts, which would have been manned, as I said in the last video. And this is the reception area. Beautiful. And then goes into the stunning first-class dining room, which is the whole width of the ship. So over there, we've got those windows, which are double portholes. I wonder if they've got one open. I think they have. Ah, they've got one open over there. So you can see, it's really quite clever. They just put double portholes in, and then stained glass in front. I think that's such a great idea to let as much light in as possible. You can see all this plasterwork, and all very ornate. And that's the whole width of the ship. Let's go right to the back. Oh, we're in the window. Look at that. And you can see all the way over there. This is the width of the ship. I can't remember exactly. I want to say it's about 90 odd feet wide. But that might be a lie. And here we go on to the other side. And we turn around. Massive. So there would have been a couple of sittings. If need be. Again. Breakfast, lunch and dinner. And then down here, I can't remember actually what's down here. I can't remember if it went through, or if that's just where the kitchens are. Anyway, a massive room. Very popular by all accounts. Again, a room which they built for the film, 1997 James Cameron film, which had a good use and flooded. And I remember at the time that they even got the original carpet makers who made it for the original Titanic in 1911, 1912 to make the same carpets from the same plans for the film. It's just typical James Cameron going to every detail. But we don't want to go too far, so we're back down to E-deck. Oh, an emergency door. Oh, does that say Turkish bath? Swimming in Turkish baths. Fantastic. So we're going to go down to F-deck. There we go. And then this should be the Turkish bath. Wow. The colours, the That looks like a photograph. It looks like I'm there. That is... Sorry. That is just amazing. Those beautiful colours of these tiles and the woodwork. Look at that. The deep velvet red sort of at the top there. Changing rooms. It's very much Turkish feel to it. It really is. It is a stunning, stunning room. One of my favourites on the ship. I mean, that is amazing. We come through. We've got the electric bath. Oh, so the chapel we fenced with earlier on in the squash court, Willie Hadelitz, unfortunately comes a bit of a cropper in there in that game, Adventure Out of Time, from 1996. Look it up on Steam. It's available. There's a massage room? I don't know. Big bit of stone. A shower. Some individual rooms. Another one. And just look at that. You know. Fantastic steam rooms. Actually, I don't know what these are. It might be, might not be. But this will be a very warm and humid place. Just to come down and relax. Again, a nice clean, sterile almost. And then we go into... Oh, good example there of a watertight door. The spanner there, those massive cogs, all those teeth to close them. So that is a bulkhead we just come through. And there's the pool. Swimming! Oh, sorry, I don't know why I turned into a Spitfire. But we are now in the swimming pool. It's interesting, if you ever see the Titanic swimming pool, as we are, Titanic and Olympic at the start of their lives, and then the Britannic, the third ship, and they go all out on the Britannic and really start to hide the steel work, these sort of these upright bits, the bulkheads, the rivets. They encase it a lot more, and it just sort of pretty it up a little bit. But from all accounts, a very popular part of the ship. I want to say similar to the gym, separate men and women timings, but this is the internet. Always check your facts. That is our Turkish bath, and look at that! I was right. So yeah, ladies from 10 till 1, gents from 2 till 7. So yeah, purses for your tickets, swimming baths, gentlemen 6 till 9, and for ladies 10 to 11. And for ladies and gentlemen, respectively, during the day at the same hours as the Turkish bath, free of charge. So yeah, separate swimming times. Because of course, it was not the done thing, certainly of people of first class, to see other people of first class, wives or husbands, in the altogether. Or nearly in the altogether, anyway. So yeah, fantastic. Another thin corridor to more rooms. I don't know if these are staterooms or crew rooms or what. I don't know. But it does look... Is that just a holding open device? That thing on top there? It's got a lock. Because I'm pretty sure none of the cabins had locks. Because if you had things, you would, of any value, you would take them to the purser. And the purser, up on sea deck, would look after them for the voyage. And then you would go and take them out. Hence why when the ship was sinking, suddenly a lot of people wanted to go to the purser to get their valuables. Right, so we go up to sea deck. I can't remember whether it's the grand staircase or it's at the aft grand staircase. Here it is. Purser's office is over here. So this is the purser's office here. So you would come over here and then you would meet the purser, or I think there was an assistant purser, and you would hand over your things to put in the safe. You could book deck chairs, similar to what they do nowadays on ships. With you go to an office. I suppose it's reception, if you want. The crew manifest. There we go. I imagine they're people that have helped out. I'm not sure if they're passengers or not. Right, we've got on the post. Bits and bobs. Oh, there's another poster for the Project 401, what we're doing. This is that demo. And then more correspondence writing. So yeah, purser's office, reception. That's a good way of remembering it. And there's the safe. That all the stuff would be labelled, popped in the safe for the remainder of the voyage. Because as I say, I'm pretty sure, we're going to have a look at a cabin, they weren't locked. So we'll go to C-deck cabins, first class cabins. Well, that one's not got a door. Oh! Maybe they were locked then. Oh. I'm not sure. So I don't know. I thought they weren't, but I might be wrong. Happy to be corrected. But look at this room. Look at this dark wood panelling with the gold leaf trim. So this is a suite. We've then got the bedroom. And I can't remember all of the different types. Because the Holland and Wolf, generally, and certainly with the Olympic class, they had different decks, different rooms had different decors. That's a cupboard. So yeah, you would have different. They had I know they had like standard A, standard B, but then they had like King Louis the whatever, Old English, and lots of different names for it. And also, most places they did not have en suites as standard. Only a few en suites. Even in first class. So that was C55. So we go down this beautiful corridor. Well, you can see a lot more. On C that they've hidden a lot of the pipes. And they've hidden the metalwork, especially up here in the ceilings where we saw those pipes earlier on. And the further you go down to third class, you see more and more pipes and rivets and everything like that. They do less and less. Because, of course, the guys up here are paying a premium for first class. Oh, got another one here. C103. So you can, again, see this is a completely different room. Different style. White painted wood panelling with oak furniture. Oh, yeah, these lights on these gimbals are brilliant. They can be used and they sort of move with the motion of the ocean. You can see it better on that one. So they're on little gimbals and they can be hung and taken off and sort of put on the side there. But a really nice little modest cabin. Heating element over there, little heater. Dual sinks. Okay, that's interesting. Oh, and there we go. The White Star Line has provided a safe in the office of the purser, in which passengers may deposit money, jewels, or ornaments for safekeeping. The company will not be liable for passengers for the loss of money, jewels, or ornaments, or theft. So there's the little lock on the door. I suppose that's on or glow. I don't know if that's the heating or the light. See, that has got a space for a lock, but I don't know. Ladies. I don't know what that ladies is for. Is it for a... And then you got these little corridors that go between the corridors, where there are again more... ladies lavvy 5. So we've got the toilets. Bathroom 17. Whoop. Bathroom 14. Going through the... Oh, sorry about my screen. And then we come to this one, C70. Different style again. Different style again. We've got a double bed and a single bed with this Is it carpeted? Is that like a towel effect? I don't know. On the top with wood panel, with smaller wood panels, slightly different varnish. And look at that ceiling. That is really, really nice, that ceiling. So again, just another style of room that you could choose. So variety, because again, a lot of people like these ships. You'd have a favourite ship. Certainly, people who cross the Atlantic for business or pleasure regularly, they would have a favourite ship. They'd always cross on the Mauritania. They'd always cross on the Olympic. So give them a little bit of variety. They stayed in that one last time. Maybe stay in something else this time, rather than having just one set of rooms for first class, one set of decoration for second. Ooh, what's this? It's like a prep room. Oh, what's in here? Oh, now, is this for the valets? Is this like the valet or the people that basically the butlers or the house staff that? Oh, and look at that! Look at that! Okay, so many of the first class people would come with valets, butlers, similar to help as they would have at home. And they didn't eat with them in first class. Maybe if you were a companion you would, but if you worked for them, you would eat separately. And this would be where you ate. A fantastic room. And then obviously the prep room in here for the hot drinks, tea and coffee. This is the wisteria pattern, synonymous with the White Star Line and of course the Olympic class ships. Doing more prep and serve from in here. So fantastic. What again? A room not many people would even think about. We've got the coat hooks up there. It's really nice. It's really pleasant. The tongue groove wood coming up to halfway, and then we've got the panelling up. Pictures of other ships. Very nautical. Oh, got the King George V, the reigning monarch at the time. And then we're back out. Again, lots of money. So we're sort of the middle of the ship here, and height-wise as well, we're in the middle, the middle deck. So I think that does something for it's how smooth it is. And then, there's an even bigger one there, maids and valets saloon. There we go. And C deck. Go up the grand staircase to B deck. Hang on. This is the aft grand staircase. So this is the aft grand staircase. We're at towards the back of the ship. So that is the Café Parisien. One of the most popular features of the ship. Again, this was not included in your ticket. You would come and have a table for pastries and teas and things. This was so popular, I think they expanded it on the Olympic later on. They actually pushed through and built it even bigger, because for an extra surcharge you could come in here, and I think the a la carte restaurant is in here. Yes. So yeah, again, another price you could pay. This was not included in your ticket, and you could come here for breakfast. Obviously, I've got the breakfast menu up here, but they did other times of day as well. I think this was the Gettys. Yeah. So yeah. So the Getty again. I think the guys who worked here all died as well. This was their sort of restaurant, and they had their own Italian. I think they're Italian staff. But you can see how beautiful this room is. Again, nearly the whole width. Obviously, we've got what would be the promenade, if you will, out there with the Café Parisien. And then going through here, out this side, is the sea. Yeah, so that is the nearly the full width, like the first class dining room. Oh, let's get my zoom right. But it's amazing what you can do with different shades of wood, different types of wood as well to make those patterns. And of course, more decoration for the pillars that were needed to keep the floor above up. And in some places they were just white steel, but not up here. Hidden really well. Yeah, the a la carte restaurant. Fantastic. And go back into the cafe. Of course, you don't have to go through the cafe prison. You can just go down the corridor here and look in. And we've got all the heating ducts down there. All set up as well for some of the bands, because during the day the band split, so they sort of had one playing in an area in first class and one playing in an area somewhere else. Was it a 4 and a 3? I can't remember. But we're now on B deck, so similar to C deck below, just long corridors with lots of cabins. Just going down. The use of white, nice, easy, simple, easy to clean. So gentlemen, so this must be the gentlemen's lavs. We saw the ladies. Gents lavy 3. Lavy, I love that. Again, very narrow. Every piece of space is being used for something. So we're going down on B deck. So what we will find is going to be the parlour suites. I mean, look at this. So this is more wallpaper, sort of green, sort of textured wallpaper that you have there, with white panelling and again gold leafed edges. This is another variety of the room that you could have in first class. And how spacious is this? That is huge. You know, you've got a sort of chaise lounge settee as well. Fantastic. I have no reflection. But other than that, pretty good. I mean, it's just stunning, isn't it? I say, there will be the parlour suites. B52, 54, 56. Because there should be one here. Yeah, so you can't see it, but in there is one of the ones. So we're heading to the front of the ship. So this is the B deck. And then the promenade will be out there. But let's just see if there is... Yeah. Okay. So this is the most expensive. There's two of them, one on the opposite. Most expensive rooms on the ship. With their private promenade. So behind this door was more entrance ways to get in. Similar to D deck reception, you could come in on B deck. And this whole thing was for one set of customers. I'm pretty sure this was empty. B52, 54, 56 was empty, I think, because that's why James Cameron put Rose and Cal and that lot in it, as to not step on any historical toes. But I want to say Bruce Ismay was in the other one, but again, completely different decor. Beautiful. Yes, it would be all the way down there. And then we've got another cabin here. Oh, back to that. I like this one. Which is like the fluffy carpety bit, I think. Ah! Look at that. And we've got blue. So what have we got in here? This is one bedroom, probably a cupboard. One bedroom with 3 beds. We've then got a double bed and a single bed. And we've got... Oh, okay. So they're all triple rooms. So I imagine... Yeah, these are 3 separate rooms, but they have adjoining doors. So if you had a larger party, you could open them up and everyone fit in. Or they could just be one room. Always thinking of the customer. You've got to. There's a lot of competition on that North Atlantic route. A lot of companies vying for your custom. So you had to have something that they wanted. And luckily, there's a lot of shallow type people who wanted to show off and say they came on the biggest, the newest, the best, the one with the swimming pool, or the biggest in the world, whatever it might be. That's how you attract them. Or reliability. The reliability service, they always got you there. They were never late, you know. Okay, we're back down here. What we'll do, as I think we will end it there. Thanks again for watching another episode of Gaming Goose on Project 401. Just looking around and seeing what we can see on this fantastic demo brought to you by the Titanic Honour and Glory guys. Thanks very much, and we'll do it again soon. Thanks. Bye-bye.